Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tier 1 racing this evening in Silverstone. And fortunately, we've got a bit of a small grid tonight. 12 out of the 14 that said they were attending tonight. But I'm sure these 12 will give us a good show regardless. Let's just put a few things up. Hope everybody's doing okay this evening. Just got everybody in the pits at the minute, obviously trying to choose their setups. So, in the meantime, I'll just check standings currently. Driver standings. Let's quickly. So you see we've got a Creamy Flaps, aka Deck. This hasn't been updated, so there's no point really going over that again, is there? So we'll just close that. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to give you an updated table for Tier 1 at the moment. So we'll just go with what we have. So Mr. Tringler, the Deck, and we've got Christopher Shawlin, your first three drivers out this evening. Shawlin is currently the first one out on track. Let's see what can happen. I think his teammate is also coming out of the pits. Yes, he is. There we go. So yes, Jess is out. Tringler is further up the line. Then you got Deck, and you got Christopher Shawlin. Current drivers out on track. We have a kick of Woody as well. But Shawlin will be the first one on a fast lap this evening. Got another one coming out at the bottom there. I think that's. I think it might be Deadly. No, Deadly or Bolt. I think. Pretty sure it's going to be Deadly. Might not even be Deadly. It might even be Haze, to be fair. It is Haze. Completely the wrong colours there. But we're just... so Deadly is now coming out of the pits. Jess is already out on the lap. Basketball still in the pits at the moment. Please speak louder. Oh my god. Alright. Let me know if that's any better. I can do that. Yeah, well there we go. We've got drivers currently out on track. Yeah, so let me know if that's any better. I believe it was Shawlin who was the first, just coming to the end of his first sector, 27.2. And then we go to Deck, who does a 27.1 already faster in sector 1 than the Haas driver. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, I don't know if that's any better. I'm hoping it is. Tringler. I was currently on a lap, so you probably won't be able to reply to me, I think. That'll be quite impressive if you can. Christopher Shawlin now comes to the end of sector 2, 1:02.7. Snip back to Deck. Does a 1:02.0, so 7 tenths faster already through the second sector. And nip back to Christopher Shawlin here, who is just coming around the final bend here. And puts the power down, battery redeployed, and across the line in a 1:26.4, but Deck 1:25.5, almost over a second, nearly a second, sorry, faster than here. See how Tringler gets on. He will be coming across the line now. Oh, he must have been validated, so I believe it to be Jess is the next one to be coming across the line. Didn't quite see what his sector times were. We've got yellow flags out. Cars getting out of the way of people, nice to see. Don't want anybody holding up. Hello! How are you, sir? Warm for the rest. Beautiful. And Shaolin there, so Jess pops in behind his teammate, just about 10th behind. So good lap there from the Haas driver. Yellow's in sector 1 up before one of the Haas's get out of the way. We have Mr. P about to set his first flying lap of this evening. Merckx is already on his flying lap now. Is my voice warm enough? Warm enough? Is my voice loud enough for you guys? Let me know. Because, yeah, Rafi said it was a bit low. So let me know if it's any louder or that you can hear me well enough. As we just watched Merckx come towards the end of his first sector with a 27.3. It's not the fastest we've seen through there. And a 27.2. So these two are quite close at the moment, within a tenth of each other. All gravy. That's what I love to hear. Deadly is coming to the end of his first flying lap. Ooh, it looked a bit wide there, but not invalidated. 125.8. So still slower than Dex, but puts himself into the 25s with him. We've got Merckx now. He's coming to the end of his second sector. Hazer, how's Hazer doing? He's going to be the next across the line. Warm the yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, I couldn't. Anyway, Hazer coming to the end of his first flying lap, keeps it nicely within the white lines there, and pops himself up into P6. Bit of a slow lap there, so he just wants to get his banker in, then he'll come back out in a little bit, I'm sure, as Merckx comes across the line and 126.6 pops him into 5th, just in front, almost half a second in front of his Aston teammate. 1 second. Sorry, my kid was giving me ice cream. It was good. I think Frosted Bolt. I know someone has a engine pentanote. I don't think it's those. As Woody is now coming out of the pits to warm his tyres up. We hear you loud and clear. Loud, eh? But yeah, so we got Woody coming out of the pits now. He'll be wanting to set fast lap. He's waiting for everybody else to go out before he sets his time. Wants the rubber to get down. You're good, dude. You're good. But yeah, Woody's leaving all the letting all the cars in front. I put some more rubber down on the track, and so he gets a bit better grip through the rest of the lap as he validates his out lap. Thank God it's only the out lap. Don't want to be doing that on your fast lap there, Woody. That will not help you. But yeah, so while Woody's setting his on his outlap, sorry. What's can anybody update me on whether Hayes, Tringler, and Bolt are all on engine penalties? I'm pretty oh no, they're not, because they're all on outlaps. So ignore that, because that just answered my question, really. Deck's on an outlap as well. So Deck thinks he can go faster than his original time. Got Christopher Shaw in now. Just come around to go past the old start-finish straight there. That nearly caught me out. His teammate also coming out as well. Woody now starting his flying lap. First one of this evening for him. And he will be coming across the end of the first sector with a 27.3. So good opening sector for him. Definitely up there with the other drivers. He's the only one on it. Oh, Deck is starting his flying lap now. So he was already out on the outlaps. He's not too far away from Woody. He won't cause him any problems. Obviously, he's over half the track in front of him. But yes, let's see what Deck does. Coming across the end of sector 1 here with a 27.0, so it's 8,000 faster than his original time. That's not bad there from Mr. Deckers. Woody 102.7. Good second sector. Let's see what he can keep, if he can keep it together throughout the final corners here. Keep it within the white lines. He does keep it nicely within the white lines. Bit of the curb on the way out, comes across the line, and a 1:26.5 pops himself nicely into 5th position right now. Deck just coming to the end of the second. He's up by 2 tenths. 2 tenths! 2 tenths! In the second sector there, so he's definitely going to be improving on that pole position, as Deadly and Mr. P are both out on outlaps. And I think Deadly's crossing the line. Deadly has just crossed the line to start his second flying lap, as Deck is coming across to finish his second, and he goes faster with 1:25.2, 3 tenths faster than his first pole position, first lap this evening. So what's Deadly and Mr. P got in response? Has Deadly got anything to close? Nearly 6 tenths through that, so that's going to be a big ask for Deadly there. He has got it in him, I think, but it's going to be a big ask. Just 4 tenths up on his first flying lap, and has unfortunately invalidated, so he'll have to reset, try again. Woody is on the in lap, obviously. Hayes, what's Hayes doing? Hayes looks like he's on a flying lap. He's not up in his first sector, so I wonder if he'll bail or just think he can get it back in the second sector. We have everybody now. He's on Deck is on an in lap. Deadly is 3 tenths up in his second sector. This will bring him a bit closer to Deck's time, but I don't think he'll bring it close enough to warrant Deck maybe coming out again. Don't know how close this is going to be. Comes across the line at 1:25.6. Still 4 tenths off Deck's provisional pole position time there, so he's going to have a lot of work to do. Shawlin not really going anywhere there. Mr. P up in his second sector. Not in his second sector, in his first sector. The start finish line caught me out again. Oh well. Let's see what he can do. Coming to the end of sector 2. Little slide coming around the corner there. Still up. He's up on his second sector, so this is going to move him possibly back to P4, possibly P4, P5. What's the weather going to be like for the race later? Anybody knows? We're just watching Mr. P come across the line now. 1:26.0, pops himself nicely into 5th position there. Oh, just one, I don't even know what that is, 100 thousandths off Christopher Shawlin's time there. So yeah, that's not a bad lap. Tringler now coming towards the end of sector 2. What's he going to put across here? Is he going to be up on his time? He's down by a long way, so not sure. Deadly's on an in lap. Hazer has invalidated. Shawlin is a pit. Mr. P's just done a lap. Tringler's in. Merckx apparently is no. So Woody's in the pits. Jess is on an out lap. But yeah, does anybody know what the weather's going to be like tomorrow? Tonight's race, as Rusted Bolt, I thought had already set a time. He's the only player not to have set a time. I thought he had, but he hasn't. So here we go for his first flying lap this evening. DRS open, a little bit of a battery deployment here through the end of sector 1 with 27.5, sort of mid pack there to the other drivers. Does anybody think Deck's gonna Deadly's gonna beat Deck's time there? There's yellow flags out in sector 2. Not sure, he might be running out of fuel. whoever that is. Just stick on board with Mr. Bolt. Nicely around the corners here. Maybe a little bit too much curb, but he is faster than me, so what do I know? 103.0 is he's coming towards the end of sector 2. For a minute I thought I had no sound, it sounded electric. And that was scary. But Rusty Bolt now coming across the line to finish his first flying lap of this evening in a 126.6. Pop himself into 10th position. And now we have Woody out on track. Hayes, and Hazer. So I think that's Bolt in front of Hazer. There it is. So hopefully won't cause too many issues. But he is obviously coming in, so maybe we'll just give him a little bit more of a wider berth. Let Rusty Bolt get up the field, up the way, and not cause him any harm to his tyres on his approach to his final lap. I think this might be for Hazer. Deadly still yet to come back out of the pits though, if he wants to. Looks like he's still in the pits. Hazer just still. Deadly is now out on track, as is Deck as well. Deck feels he can still go faster. So I think we've got everybody out on track. We've got Jess, who is not on an out lap, not on an in lap, maybe on an in lap. Woody is coming across in sector 1 there, and he is up by another 10th, already again improving on his already fast lap. He's still roughly 4 tenths quicker than Deadly in P2, and he's looking to improve on that time. We'll just nip to... No, sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong person. That's Woody. He's a 10th up on his time, so he's definitely looking to hopefully get up into P7 or 8. As he say that, I've invalidated him, or he invalidated, but I reckon that's probably my fault, because I was getting names all completely wrong. Because Deck is just about to start his fast lap, as Deadly is close behind him, but just backed off a little bit. But Deck has also backed off, because there's a Haas in front of them of Christopher Shawlin starting his flying lap, closely followed by Deck, but even closely followed by Deadly. Woody has retired from the session. Sorry Woody, that's probably my fault. I probably massively jinxed you there, pal. See who's going to be first across the line. Who's this one? We've got Hayes coming across to finish his final flying lap of this evening. Does improve, pops up into 6th place with 126.2. We've got Mr. P, who's that? That's the other one. No, Rusty Bolt, 126.6. Who was next? We got Mr. Tringler, 1/10 up on this sector 2 time. 1/10 up, could jump him up to P6, possibly P5, depending on his final sector. P4, I stand corrected, up to P4. Great lap from him. We've got a Hazer popping up into P2. Knocks Deadly down to P3. What a fantastic lap there from Hazer. Can Deadly do anything about that? He is quicker in sector 2. Deck is also a 10th up on his time. Already looking to set the 3rd fastest lap this evening. As he comes across the line, he does improve on his time. What's Deadly going to do? Deadly pops back up into P2, still some 2, maybe 3 tenths behind Deck, once again proving that he is a qualifying genius. Right setups, feels everything like perfect, and then just goes out and puts it all, leaves it all on the track through qualifying. Deck is your pole position sitter for the race, which which will start in approximately 5 minutes. I'm thinking 20, 26, 27. But there you have your pole sitter for tomorrow's deck, followed by Deadly, followed by Hazer, Trengler, Christopher Shawlin, Mr. P, Hayes, Mercs, JSS, Humoro, Woody, and Rusted Bolt, rounding out the 12 drivers this evening. Please do come back, go and get your drinks, go and do what you need to do, and do come back to join us in 5 minutes time. We will find out when that is. 5 minutes time. We're going at 20:28, so you've got 5 minutes. 20:28, just before half past. We will be going live for the race. Please do come back, and we'll see you very soon. And welcome back. anybody know if there's going to be any rain forecast for this evening's event? Warm the forest, I'm looking at you. Did you find out? Warm for the forest. Warm for the rest. Warm for the forest. I'm doing it again. Warm forest, weren't it? Yeah, it's always a warm forest. But does anybody know if there's any rain forecast? Yes, but you don't think the rain will hit. Ah, that sucks. Always like a little bit of rain here at Silverstone. Spices things up. Not long now till we get the green light at 28 minutes past, and the red lights will start to come on, and the chaos of Silverstone, I'm sorry, the race of Silverstone Tier 1 will begin. Let's see what Tier 1 can bring us this evening. As I think it's now 28, so the drivers can start readying up. Even the marshals are like, come on guys, let's go. Let's do this. Yeah. Come on. Let's ready up, guys. Don't know if you can see, but it looks like someone in the Red Bull garage just on the pit wall, sorry, just looks like he's just cleaning something. But it seems like he's cleaning it for a while. Are we readying up, guys? Like some point this evening, or are we seeing how long we can wait till the rain then does come? Is this Deck's plan? Let the rain come late on, cause chaos. Oh, here we go. 1 light, 2 lights, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and away we go. And it looks to be like a good clean start there from Deck straight up into P1. Remains in P1. Deddy does look like he's got a bit of a run on him. Is he going to make a move into turn 2? Looks to the inside. Thinks better of it, but Deck runs a little bit wide. Just possibly anticipating the run in from Deadly there, but Deadly gets a better exit out of turn 4. Hot on the heels of Deck. Is this going to be a swap for the lead into the next turn? Deadly moves to the inside. Deck holds around the outside. Is he going to hold on? Deadly now down the outside. Deck back on the inside. Deadly looking to swing back, but Deck cuts it off. Deck then still holds on to the lead. Great racing straight away from these two drivers. Got moves from JSS and Merckx. Looks like Merckx possibly getting a little twitchy on the grass there. Not sure. He looks like someone's gone round. It's Humero. He lost the back end, I think. Possible contact, but not entirely sure, so I'm not getting involved. But if we had replays, I would. But Deck now survived the early attack there from Deadly. Pulled out almost half a second throughout the remaining parts of this of this lap. So I wonder if Deadly used a lot of battery straight away to attack. We're having a look at the tyres. I think everybody seems to be on medium tyres. I think they all are. They are all on medium tyres. So this is going to be possibly decided in the pit stops this evening for the victory. Unless Deck can pull away from Deadly, this may be a very long train between all drivers, except Jess looks like he's lost touch with Rusted Bolt there. Did still have DRS by the looks of things, so he might have stayed in the window of detection there. So look like we might be getting a 12-car train, as Hayes has dropped behind Mr. P by just over a second now. So this is where the train could end. The top 6 could start pulling away if this continues. Merckx, by the looks of things, doesn't want that to happen, as Bolt is now getting past Merckx. Oh, into beautiful driving there from both drivers there, keeping it very clean and tidy. Hayes, in the meanwhile, managed to get a little bit further away, but Rusted Bolt has got a great run on Hayes. Is he going to make a move into the turn? No, he will stay and wait around. try and regain some of the battery from the attack that he did on Merckx there. Caught Merckx a little bit napping, I think, and pops himself up into P8 with Hayes, who has 3 changes for fastest lap there. Went from deck to deadly to Hazer. So Hayes, all the top 3 are definitely pushing. Shawlin is staying within detection, just dropping away a little bit. Tringler obviously would like him to stay with him, as would Mr. P, but Hayes now 2 seconds behind Mr. P, so this is now battle for P7 at this current moment. What are we going to have here? So I think seems to be Jess gets past Woody, gets past Merckx. Merckx is not quite sure what Merckx happened to Merckx there. Has he got damage? No damage. He just might had a little moment, I guess. But that's dropped him out of DRS range of his teammate in front, who is just running wide out on track there. But Woody looks like he's setting up a move to go past the Haas driver. Bolt, will we be looking to get past Hayes down this straight here? Moves to the inside line. Don't think Jeff's going to put too much fight, but he does try to hold him off. Makes him work for that position, but Hayes ultimately nothing he could do against the speed of the Red Bull driver there. Mr. P still behind, still the last of this train of 6 drivers. Deadly, not sure where he can get past Deck here, if he can get past Deck, because Deck seems to have the setup to get him through the corners and still have the speed down the straight. As Hayes now looks like he's just dropped out of DRS range of Rusted Bolt, as Woody gets past Jess. Woody does get past Jess. Jess holding back for the inside line. Jess retakes 9th place. Is Woody going to have to go around the outside? They're still side by side. Jess then slots in behind Woody and thinks better of trying to hold him around the inside here. Let's see. As Mr. P looks like he's going to take advantage of Tringler running very wide. Tringler will still have DRS, but that could have been a more of a costly loss there, because both him and Mr. P now drop behind, drop over a second behind Christopher Shawlin in the Haas. Mr. P all over the back of that Williams car there, almost pushing him around the final corner. We're going to see a move at the end of the DRS straight here from Mr. P to get past Stringler and hopefully catch up to Shawlin, who's now also nearly dropped away from the top 3 here. As Mr. P does get past Stringler at the end of the straight with the aid of the DRS. These two, maybe they'll work together to get back up to Christopher Shawlin. Woody now on the back of Hayes with Jess in hot pursuit. Woody, Hayes looks like going defensive there. Woody now switching to the inside line, making Hayes work, not work hard, but pushing Hayes a little bit wide. But Hayes looks like he's still got the inside for the next turn. He does kind of go defensive, thinks about it, then goes attack, and then is looking to try and put Woody under pressure here. But Woody says no, thank you, and I'll hold on to that position. We got Mr. Tringler, who is currently running P6. There's Humo. He gets past Jess. Looks like Merck's having some lag issues there. Don't know if it was me or my end, but definitely looked like he was lagging a little bit there. As Jess just dropping behind Humo. Humo's just passed him, but just looking like he's going to make a little comeback on him here. As the top three now have broken away from Christopher Shawlin. Mr. P is catching him back up. But right now this is your battle for P8. Woody leading the way. Wanting to close back up onto the Red Bull Rusted Bolt in front of him. But not sure how easy that will be. Now these tyres are sort of hitting 6 laps old. Hitting 7 laps old, sorry. It's going to be a big ask. It depends on how much battery and how far Woody wants to... How hard he wants to push those tyres. Hazer 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Already 6 laps in, he's changing the tyres. That's going to drop him right the way to the back of the pack there. He's going onto the hards. Will he see those hards through to the end of the race? This will drop him all the way to the bottom of the track. And maybe a good 5-6 seconds further down on the Aston of Merckx there. So it's a very early stop, I think, for the driver there. But maybe he's going for a different sort of undercut. But yes, so there's your first pit stop of this evening. Hazer with the 10-second speeding penalty as well. So he's the first driver to come in and swap on to the hard tyres. What would Deck and Deadly do here? But they know... Do they know that Hazer has a penalty? They know he's coming for hard, so they'll be keeping an eye on where he is on track. Let's see where he is on track. He's 26 seconds behind Deck at the moment. We'll just keep an eye on that and see what his hard tyres do. 26 seconds. It's basically a pit stop. So 27 seconds, 28 seconds for the pit stop. So we'll see how it goes. He is closed up on Merckx ahead of him. We'll have a look at a couple of laps on to see whether he's made inroads on Deck and Deadly there. But that obviously runs a risk now. If he's running them to the end of the race, these two will come in later and have much fresher tyres than the Ferrari of Hazer. As Merckx gets past Jess, and Humo still behind Hayes, still behind Woody, but not really making any inroads on Rusted Bolt ahead of him. Seems to be roughly about between 3.5-4 second mark. Seems to be getting closer, then pulling away again. Rusted Bolt obviously does have the aid of DRS through through both DRS zones, so that will help him keep the distance between himself and Woody behind. But are we going to see Rusted Bolt now making a move on Tringler into the right-hander, does take the inside line. Tringler holds it around the outside there, still side by side. I think Tringler is going to back off now. I don't think there's much he can do. Tringler does. He sits in behind the Red Bull, thinks better of a switch back there or a late move into the corner. As Woody now comes into the pits, he's going to be the second driver this evening to swap onto the hard tyres. So, yeah, is it ready for, are we ready for pitting now? Hazer will come across and retake 11th place long before Deck even reached his pit stop. So let's see how far Woody comes out behind Hazer. We'll get an idea of what have we got this evening. So he's 12 seconds behind Hazer was probably about 4 or 5 seconds up the road before they pit. There we have the change of positions. Shawlin is the biggest. Miss Shawlin and Mr. P both up 2 places, but Russell Bolt, the biggest mover so far, with 7 places by P9. So he's one of the big movers. Let's just say there's only the 2 stops. Everybody else is on medium tyres. And the last 2 are on hards now. But Deadly is stuck with Deck through the entire race so far. Little battle for the first sort of opening of the race. Half of just over half of lap 1 is Mr. P. Rusted Bolt coming into the pits. Merckx picks up a penalty for speed, multiple warnings. So Mr. P will take 4th place. Rusted Bolt's in the pits. Tringler is also very, very close behind him in the pits as well. Is anybody else going to pit? No one else is coming into the pits, so we still have Deck, Deadly, Shawlin, Mr. P, Hayes, Humoro, Merckx and Jess all on the soft tyres, and everybody else has now come into the pit and changed to the hards. And Woody is probably lost quite a few places there. He has gained time, but obviously I know the others have to come into pits, but I don't want him to feel discomfort that he's still there. He's got to wait for the others to come into the pit as well. I forgot they had to, but he'll hunt down Tringler now in order to get within the DRS8 so he could get up the track a little bit and help his chances of moving further up the field. Hazer, how far is Hazer now behind the leader? Hazer's 20 seconds behind behind Deck, sorry. So he's definitely within a pit stop of Deck now. So Deck and Deadly. Deck has a 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. As we're talking about it, they're both coming into the pits. Deck picks up a penalty. Deadly doesn't. Shawlin does. Shawlin doesn't. Mr. P also comes into the pits, but that is absolute carnage news. Worst case scenario there for Deck. Picks up a penalty for speeding in the pits, as does Hazer. So this is going to nicely into Deadly's hands here, as Merckx takes up the lead of the race with Jess just behind him in P2 now. Hazer, although it does have the 10-second penalty, has moved up ahead of Deck and Deadly here. Now, if he finishes ahead of Deck, then he will remain ahead of Deck, because obviously both of them having the 10-second penalty. But Deadly has been a little bit of a loser. He's lost out maybe a second to Deck in front, but Deadly won't be too worried about that. I don't think, as long as he stays within the 10 seconds of Deck, then he will take the lead, the win of the race, as long as it stays like this. Mr. P gets past Woody. Woody looking to come back at him. Mr. P's on 2 lap fresher tyres, I believe it is now. And Tringler's then up the road. Shawlin. So I think the only ones to now pit are Jess and Merckx, because Hazer has pitted. As Jess looking to go around the outside, Merckx looking to go around the inside. They're both coming into the pits. They are. Merckx didn't know what to do. He thought that Hazer was also coming to the pits, and then he stayed out. Jess picks up a 10-second for speeding in the pit lane. 3rd driver this evening to do that. Don't think Merckx did. But Hazer now leading the race from Deck, 3 seconds behind him. Deadly is on course to win this race. Things have taken a bit of a turn here, as Jess comes out of the pits. Will he get passed by Humor? No, he won't get passed by Humor, but Merckx, sorry. But definitely passed. So come out of the pits into P11, P12. And that means that everybody now has had a pit stop, and there are your tyres for this evening. Jess and Merckx are on the freshest tyres. Hazer has 4 lap older tyres than Deadly and Deck. So there we have Bolt up 8 places now, Hazer up 2, and Bolt has had a fantastic race. We're up 8 places and everybody's made their stops now. Oh, I don't want to leave that on. Don't leave that on. So yeah, Bolt having a fantastic race this evening. Not sure he'll be able to catch up to Deadly and the 6 second gap. They're on fresher tyres as well. So will Bolt be able to keep the likes of Shawlin and Tringler behind him as Deck puts in the fastest lap of the race this evening? Just over 13 laps to go. Closest battle on track is the battle for P4 currently, but Deck almost within a second of Hazer, and Deadly just 2 seconds behind Mr. Deck. Rusted Bolt, like I said, is leading the way for P4. Shawlin in hot pursuit, followed by Tringler. Mr. P just 2 seconds behind now, closing the gap up on them ever so slightly. Pulled out a second gap now between himself and Woody. Hayes further 6 seconds down the field. Got Humoro within 2 seconds of him. Jess within a second of George, or Humoro, sorry, and is looking to make use of the next DRS zone as long as he can stay within the 1 second mark, and Merckx will be looking to close up as well, as Deck right on the tail of Hazer. That doesn't make the move at the end of the DRS straight there. Will he make a move into the final corner? Doesn't choose to do it, so this will hold him up a little bit longer while Deadly has a chance to close up to him a bit more. But at this present time, Deck now moves to the inside alongside with Hazer. Is anybody going to give way? No one's giving way. Hazer's pushed wide, but stays within the white lines. Deck holds the inside line. Hazer looking for the switchback. Again, Dex looks like he's got this one covered, but again, Hazer is now coming for another little switchback. He will have DRS into the next zone here. What is Hazer going to do? Is he going to make a move into the corner? He does go a little bit late, brakes a little bit earlier. Deck managing to stay ahead. All this time, Deadly has caught up by a second on these two here, so that has helped him closing up, but has that battle hampered Hazer's tyres for the rest of the races? He runs wide out of the fast right-hander there. Not sure how many warnings he's on, but that will not keep him happy, as he will have DRS now coming down the back straight. Deadly almost within touching distance of the DRS. Hazer, I think, even with DRS, I didn't think he was going to make a move, and he just did that little switch. I wonder if Dex saw that and just thought, oh no. But here we have these 3 drivers all once again almost within a second of each other. Deck will definitely be wanting to pull away as much as he can, while Deadly is behind Hazer. Tringler picks up a 3 second time penalty. Mr. P now within 1.5 seconds of Mr. Tringler in front of him. Christopher Shawlin and Rusted Bolt is still the battle for P4 at the moment. Mr. P wants to join that battle. Woody further 4 seconds down the road from Mr. P now. Hayes 5 seconds down the road, but he has El Humoro, Jess and the other asset of Merckx in hot pursuit. So it's a battle for P9. We have 3 little battles going on. The battle for P9, the battle for P4, and of course the battle for P1. And as long as it stays how it is, Deadly will pick up the win in roughly 11 laps time. But he'd probably want to do it all out on track, but he'll probably sit there and just charge up his battery and just wait for the right moment. Doesn't want to risk anything to try and get past Hazer. probably just wait for him to finish, drop out of the DRS, and then use his advantage of DRS to slingshot past him, and hopefully try and catch and chase down Deck and pass him out on track. Let's go through this one here. Bolt, he's fairly comfortable with them behind him right now. Can't remember what the tyres were now. Tyres. So Bolt only got 1 lap older tyres, so fairly relative on the tyres there. Woody 7 lap older tyres. And Hazel is one with 9 lap older tyres. But he is now under pressure from the Red Bull of Deadly. Is Deadly going to make a move through this corner? I don't think he will. He'll probably just be sat said, saving up some battery, and then coming down the next back straight. I'm sure we shall see him get past the Ferrari driver. And here we go. We'll just maybe ride on board of Deadly, and it's almost into the back of him. That's probably just how I would have driven. But Deadly clean past Hazer, well into before the corner, and now the chaser's on. As Hazer now comes in again, he's pitting again, so those hards won't last him under 10 laps. So I assume he'll be going on to the medium tyres. He'll have to serve his 10-second penalty then. So yeah, there we go, his penalty is being served, so that will clear him for the rest of the race, but it will push him all the way down the field, as you're going to see. Woody's going to get past him, Hayes and the trio behind should all get past Hazer, who's now on his way, but will come out in last place, but he won't have the 10-second penalty now. So he's clear of penalties. Deck is now 2.4 seconds ahead of the Red Bull of Deadly here. Will Deck and Deadly have to stop again? I mean, they went an extra 5, 6 laps before they pitted, so you know they could risk it to the end of the race on these hard tyres, make it a one-stop. Also, it depends on how much they use them to get past drivers and to try and catch back up to Hazer, who was in the lead at that current moment. Deck does not go into the pits. Mr. P is getting past Mr. Tringler and up into P5, and he will now try and chase down the Haas of Christopher Shawlin to P4, as Rusted Bolt is now under pressure from Christopher Shawlin. Only a lap difference in these tyres, so wonder if Rusted Bolt made a small error, because I'm fairly sure he had a bit more of a gap. Well, about 8/10 of a second, either that or Shawlin has had a great end to the previous lap. He will now have DRS coming down this straight. Will he make a move? Bolt does go defensive, makes him want to makes Shawlin go around the outside of him, but not sure he was even close enough. Maybe Russell Bolt showed the defence a bit too early. Might have helped Shawlin close up a bit more. I think Shawlin will sit behind him as we come through. I believe it's Maggots and Beckett. But I'm sure he'll sit behind him as we come through here, and then down the next straight. The DRS will open, and then see how fast he will catch up and get past Rusted Bolt here. Bolt goes defensive, and great show of defence there, because Shawlin didn't know if he'd go to the inside or the outside. And so for another lap, Shawlin will have to sit behind Rusted Bolt, but all the while Mr. P, while struggling on those sides, is getting closer as Tringler now comes into bits. He's getting rid of those hard tyres as well. Deck still continuing on his way. Deadly now 2.5 seconds behind him. doesn't seem to be pushing too hard to get past him, as Shorlin now will be wanting to get past Rusty Bolt as quick as he can, because he'll be seeing the Alpine of Mr. P coming up behind him as Shorlin goes to the inside. Bolt is holding him round the outside, now the inside line for Bolt. And is he going to hold on to that position? He does hold on to that position. Great driving from the pair of these two this evening, the Haas driver and the Rusty Bolt there in the Red Bull. Fantastic racing from the pair, keeping it nice and clean. But all the while, this has helped Mr. P close by another second in the second sector alone. So while these two are battling, Mr. P is saying, please do continue, because I'm getting closer. I want to get past all of you. Is Shorlin going to be close enough? He's not going to be close enough to do anything about Bolt. This particular lap, so both possibly saving a bit of battery, but Mr. P is hot on their tails. Incoming Alpine. Is Mr. P coming into the pits? He's not coming into the pits. So this will continue as Hayes has the Aston Martin all over him. Those mirrors will be green, green, green. Is anybody coming into the pits? All four of these drivers are still staying out. Little lock up there from Humo. Hayes holding on to the position for the time being, as Christopher Shorlin now over half a second behind him, looks to cut to the inside, different line to come out of the turn onto the DRS straight, as Hayes puts in the fastest lap of the race in the Ferrari driver on the hard tyres. As Shorlin now was getting closer, but again Bolt took the middle line. If Shorlin wanted that, they had to go around the outside of him. Thought better of it this time around. We've got Humo finally getting past Hayes with the aid of DRS. Will his teammate follow him around the Haas driver of Jess? It's all very close here between these four drivers. Hayes, Humo managed to pull away, but Merckx looks like he's getting a decent run on this the other Haas driver. As Jess runs a bit wide, and Merckx takes full advantage of that, says thank you very much. Moves up into P9. Now we'll have the aid of DRS as well to close up onto Hayes. How far down the track will Humo get? Looks to be a little bit further back, so Merckx will get a better aid of DRS here. Won't be able to close up too much on the Racing Bull, but definitely aided him to stay a lot closer to him. Mr. P now within a second of Christopher Shorlin, and this has now come at a three-way battle for P3. We'll just have another look at the old stops here. So Hayes and Tringler both stopped twice now. Tyre situation, everybody's on hards, even Hazer and Tringler, who've pitted again for new hards. There's your penalties. Jess and Deck both with speeding penalties in pit stops, speeding into the pits, and Merckx and Tringler with multiple warnings. So Deck now with 5 laps to go, 4-second gap to himself and Deadly behind him. Deadly very comfortably going to be sitting in P2, knowing that as long as he stays within 10 seconds of Deck in front, then he will take today's win. Rusty Bolt still got Shorlin and Mr. P now right up right up behind the Haas driver there. So nice little battle here that's going to be for P3, and then we do have a nice little battle for P7th. Woody kind of in his own little race now, little gap, 9-second gap between himself and Mr. P, and then a nice nearly 5-second gap between himself and Chumo in the Aston. So as long as he keeps it clean, he'll be looking to score some good points there for the kick this evening. Deck now nearly 4 seconds up the road. Deadly 14 from Bolt. Bolt now Shorlin. Mr. P would desperately want to be getting past him. Is that a bit of raindrop I saw on my screen? No. What were the tyres again? So, Bolt, yeah, I said Bolt's got one lap older tyres than Shoalin and Mr. P. So, won't be too much in the term of difference in grip. Who's looked after the tyres better? Who has looked after the tyres better? Well, Hayes still within a second of the Aston, who's still within a second of. Let's start again. We've got Hazer who's within a second of the Haas driver, who is within a second of Merckx in the Aston, within a second of Hayes in the Racing Bull, who's within a second of the other Aston. So that's a battle for P7. Let's just nip back up to Rusty Bolt as we come towards the end of Sector 1. Rusty Bolt is doing a fantastic job here of using his battery wisely, using it in the right places, saving it in the right places, going defensive when needed, as Hazer gets past Jess in the Ferrari there. But yeah, as I said, Bolt he knows where he's placed his car perfectly when he wants to defend this evening, and Mr. Christopher Shoalin is having a bit of trouble trying to get past him. I wonder if Mr. P, with being this close as well, his tyres will be getting a bit warm in the dirty air of the two cars ahead of him. And that's one thing that Mr. Christopher Shoalin will have to look out for, because his tyres will get warmer and they will wear more behind the car in front of him. So as long as Rusty Bolt has been looking after his tyres and not pushing too hard to defend, he is looking to have the better tyres towards the end of the race, I would suspect. Christopher Shoalin now almost losing DRS here. As Rusty Bolt looked off his tyres a bit nicely, he's just starting to push a little bit, trying to break the 1 second mark. I think Shoalin will get the DRS this time around, but yeah, Rusty Bolt is trying to make a move to stay ahead of the Haas driver and to secure what will potentially be a first and third for the Red Bull team this evening. Is Christopher Shoalin going to be able to do anything? Is Mr. P going to be able to do anything on Christopher Shoalin? These two following very closely. Sumo still has the Racing Bull. Merckx has now got Hazer very, very hot on his tails. On his heels, sorry. Not his tails. Could be his tails. Could be his heels. Don't know which way Merckx wants to fly. But yeah, I think he'll just be following. The Tringler gets past Jess there into P11 with his very purple Lewis Hamilton helmet. As looks like Merckx was. Did I? Wait, I don't know if Merckx has got lag issue or that was me, but that looked like Merckx was going really wide through one of the corners there. As Hazer clearly has a better grip, able to brake later, almost running into the back of the Aston in front of him. While this is happening, Hayes will get a sense of relief that it's not him under attack, but he will also be able to break away a little bit and focus on trying to keep the gap down to Humo in front of him, trying to keep it within the second. As Rusty Bolt, as Tringler then gets past Hazer, little slide there from Tringler, manages to pull himself back around. Will look like he's going to keep the position on Hazer there. So Hazer, whilst trying to get past the Aston of Merckx, has lost the position out to the Williams driver. Now will the Williams driver be able to do anything about the Aston driver? Whew, goodness me. Let's have a look at these three up here. The deck coming around to start his final lap of the race. Not really had much screen time, but he's kind of had this race under control ever since Hazer really pitted early. Deck has not panicked. He's led the way, and when he came into the pits, dropped down the order, then has retaken the lead, and again has not looked back. Deadly, I think, obviously knowing that Deck has the time penalty, has kind of sat there knowing that he's probably going to have the race, doesn't need to push it on to risk anything, will come away with the victory this evening, providing nothing else goes wrong. But this battle here for P7, now into its final lap, also with Rusted Bolt taking the defensive line there. Not sure he really needed to take that line. He didn't look like Christopher Shortling was going to have anything to do to get past him there, as everybody's now, all three of these drivers saving battery. Mr. P, not sure Mr. P will be able to do anything about the Haas driver with this final few corners coming up. I want to stay here because this is coming into a really nice section, so I want to see if Bolt can hold it, but I'm trying to keep an eye on where Deck is, because I think we might have to cut over to Deck as we come across the final lap. Now Deck is going to come across the line, your race winner, but he will drop down into P2, I believe, as Rusted Bolt does hold on to P3. I think as long as he doesn't have any lockups now into the final corners, keeps it nice and tidy, Rusted Bolt is going to go and come across the line in P3. What a fantastic race for him. Christopher Shaw unable to do anything, finishes P4. Mr. P, P5. Woody will come across in P6. Fairly quiet race. Fairly quiet race for the kick driver there, but kept it clean, kept it lovely. Humero will hold on to P7. Hayes will come across the P9. There's all sorts of chaos as it comes across the line there. Hayes lost the back end, I think, or was he just doing something for fun? But what a fantastic little end there to the race. There was battles everywhere, but Rusted Bolt, what a fantastic race he had there. Up, I think, 8 places in the end, 9 places in the end to finish P3. Deck dropped down to P2, despite coming across the line first with the speeding into the pit lane. He dropped down to P2, and yes, Rusted Bolt in P3, and your race winner this evening will be Deadly in the other Red Bull, finishing Red Bull 1 and first and third this evening. Red Bull first and third, the Alpine driver in P2. Do join us tomorrow for Tier 2 race in Abu Dhabi. We'll just have a quick look at the final results, providing it tells. We've got race winner Deadly, fast lap Hazer, driver of the day goes to Rusted Bolt for the game, and I think in my terms it will go to Rusted Bolt as well. Most overtakes was Merckx. Race winner Deadly. Just got to quickly do this. There's your pit stops, incidents, and there's your drivers. Deadly P1, Deck P2, Rusted Bolt is your P3 driver this evening. So yes, thank you for joining us this evening. We have been UFRL. We have been Tier 1, and I hope you all have a very good evening. Thank you for watching, and good night.